G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing today? I thought, since there's a lot of you guys who are either not riding yet or wanting to become new riders, that I would go over some of the basics of what they teach you on your rider's course. Now, when you do your learner's test, there's a few things that they're going to be teaching you about, okay? First one is when you're getting on the bike and then all the simple stuff around it. There is a spider on that little web there. Let's move back a little bit. I don't need any visitors coming into my motorcycle. Now, besides the theory aspect of things, which is your basic road rules, you should know that anyway. If you can't do the theory test, you shouldn't be riding, period, okay? End of discussion. I'm going to open this up because it's way too friggin' hot. First of all, you're first getting on the motorcycle. What they're going to teach you is getting yourself in neutral, okay? Now, that's pretty simple. You pull your clutch in. If you're in first gear, for most bikes, you're just going to grab your little thing there and just pop it up a little bit, okay? Bam, you're in neutral. Look how easy that is. And then they're going to teach you how to walk the bike. Now, you're not going to be duck walking the bike whilst you're on it. You're going to be on the bike on the side. So basically, they teach you, get on the side, hold that clutch in, flick that up, and start pushing the bike forward, okay? This is easy. So that's all they're going to be teaching you in that first half. Then you're going to slow down nice and gradually, flick down your kickstand, and bam, you've done your first step of the day. All right? So once you've done all your basic stuff, they're going to run you through the basic controls of your motorbike. You know, turning it on, what your buttons do. You know, you have your passing lights, your high beams. Some bikes, you have a little trigger there. You have your indicators. If it's a Harley, typically you have them on both sides. Horn, hazard lights, kill switch, and your ignition, okay? So, let's get started now. Now that your bike is on, they're going to teach you one thing. Getting yourself in gear and rolling. So, it's just this. All right, you're not going to really be doing too much to the throttle. You're just going to be clutching and rolling yourself forward, okay? And then stopping. Then doing the same thing, clutching, rolling a few meters, and stopping, all right? It's basic bike 101 to sort of get you ready, and they'll probably make you do a walk around of the actual motorcycle. Ooh, it is slippery down here, to make sure you don't do a U-turn and crash, okay? After you can do that, they'll teach you how to go up the whole distance, maybe shift in a second, and then shifting back down and coming to a stop, okay? Simple stuff of that category. They might teach you how to use all your controls and do a simple U-turn. These are some basic skills you need to learn. So after you've learned all your basic starts and stops, they will make you do something called a slow ride, which is when you fast idle the bike, which is this. So this is idling. That's fast idling. Look how much I'm twisting the throttle. That's a fast idle. So what you're doing is now you're going to slowly clutch in the bike, okay? And you're going to ride the rear brake whilst you're going. And the idea is to go as slow as you can without stalling the bike or falling over. It's like walking pace with the bike, okay? Now, if you can do this one really well, you'll do really well on that first day of your motorcycle test, okay? This is an imperative skill to have, especially for that slow-moving traffic, all right? Happy days. Head checks are important. Then what you're going to be doing is you will be doing a lot of loops. So they'll teach you how to get in gear, and you're just going to be going 1, 2 is probably staying in second for this. There's no real need to go any faster than second gear. You're just going to be going around in circles for the day, okay? And that's your first sort of day on the motorcycle. All right. Now, if you're having a second day, they will teach you how to do some other stuff. They will teach you how to do your riding up. Say we're going to turn left at this little thing. You're going to indicate, you're going to slow down, come to a nice stop. Your standard head checks, left and rights, and then you're going to go off to the side, okay? And make sure you remember to turn those bloody controls off, because that is the learner failure 101. Another one that you're going to be learning on your learner's test is emergency braking. Now, if you're in first gear, you just clutch front and rear brake. If you're in second gear, you can let the clutch out a bit and do it. But so emergency braking, you'll be going, get up to a certain speed, maybe 20 k's, 25, then you're doing that, okay? For rear brake, front brake, but you don't ever squeeze the front brake super hard for a reason. If you're riding a more older motorcycle without ABS, and you do this, you're just going to slip the front wheel and crash. Whereas if you have a newer bike, you don't have to worry about it. But it's not good to have the habit. So just slowly squeeze it, you know, like this, like you're squeezing a fruit. And that's how you do your emergency brake whilst also riding your rear brake. All right, now that's basically all you need to be able to do for a lot of your license tests, okay? Another one is your imperative, being able to do a U-turn in a relatively small space. So if you can't do a U-turn in like a space like this. Look, you're going to probably struggle a little bit with motorcycles, but that's all right. Not everyone's U-turns are the best in the beginning, because naturally when there's a turn, people like to press their front brakes. If you're in the midst of a turn, you don't press your front brakes, you press your rear brakes, because if you press your front brake, you fall. Like, your bike wants to do this, stand up. All right, that was exaggerated, but when you brake with the front, your bike stands up. So you hit your rear brake in corners, because then you can keep that speed controlled, and it actually tightens your turning circle quite a substantial amount. So look, if I do it again, we're going to do this with the rear brake. See, look, you can keep that turning circle much tighter. Whereas if you start turning and hit your front brake, well, you'll actually, chances are you can actually just lock the wheel up, or you fall down sideways. See that? A very common one is when you hit the brakes like this really hard, and then you fall to the side. Now, I actually slipped a bit on this concrete because it's not the grippiest, but you go, and then you drop to one side. That's just meaning you're braking too hard without knowing how to, like, sort of control your brake. Dude, it's pretty simple stuff, but people still get that wrong, and that's why you see them dropping it at sets of lights and they slam their brakes on, okay? So just practice your slow riding. And if you haven't got a bike to practice on because you haven't got your rails yet, just watch this video, and essentially this is what you're going to be doing. When you get to your actual road ride, you got to make sure your best idea is not to stall. So you're going to be indicating, head checking, make sure you're doing all your checks, indicate again, head check, yep, 1, 2, turn again. Keep your shifting nice and controlled. Try not to speed on your road test as well. Like, if you stall on the road test, you will fail. That's what if I remember that correctly. You can stall a bunch during the practice times, but you can't stall on the road. That's when they don't let you have a stall. So if you do have access at home and you have a big enough area to sort of go around and you have a bike already, even if it's just up and in the driveway, just practice clutching in, slowing down, shifting. You don't have to worry too much about counter steering in the driveway, but counter steering is something you're going to learn. I've done a video on it before. I can always do another one if you're interested, because I can do one with more updated stuff, but counter steering is pretty important to know. But yeah, so what I'm doing now is a very big first day event of the motorcycle. You're just going to be doing circles around the parking lot that you're doing your license test in, or your learner's permit test. It's just this all day. Lots of this, careful, lots of that, lots of circles. You might vary some places, you might do a figure eight. Now, figure eight's a little bit more complicated, but it's, just do this. Say we go around this. Keep it in first gear to keep it more exciting. Just do your figure eights, practice that slow speed maneuvering. See? Figure eight again. Now, you might find that one side's easier to turn than the other. Now, that's normal when doing motorcycles. I think it's usually the throttle side is the one that's harder to turn, because people just, because your throttle's there, the people struggle with the control thing. I think that's the theory behind it, but I always found it harder to turn left because I'm weird. But nowadays, I don't really struggle turning either way. So, but there you go. So practice doing some cheeky little figure eights. Get your controlling down as best as you can. All right, pretty simple. Same thing with the emergency stops. Stop. Notice how we had plenty of room to spare. So that one's a good one as well. Practicing your slow riding. Let's go over here and do that again. How do we do the slow riding, ladies and gents? You're going to come up to the stop where they make you stop. Fast idle. Clutch in. Start moving. And ride that rear brake. See, now we're at a lovely walking pace. And you're allowed to veer a little bit. The idea isn't to go like perfectly straight. You still have to balance yourself, but the idea is to just give yourself a nice, slow walking pace. Okay? That's a lot of your license test. It's not the most complicated thing in the world. You're not going to be doing stupidly fast things, and if they make you do an emergency stop, the fastest you probably go is like maybe, I don't know, 30 k's, come to a stop. It's not the hardest thing in the world, okay? I know if you're really panicked about it, there's not that much to it. If you can do your theory test and you know how the controls work of motorcycles, it's basically all the same. So let's do this again, all right? So, what's this control? You should know what this is already. It's right there. This is your lights. Modern motorcycles, you can't turn your low beams off. So you've got high beams and your blinker, your flashing one, all right, to pass. Some bikes have a trigger there, some don't. This one, obviously, beep. Left, out, stop. Right, stop. A lot of the learner bikes don't have self-cancelling headlights. That's important to know. Turn your headlight off. Your self-cancelling turn signals, turn them off when you do your turns, okay? Hazard lights. They're important. You don't always have to use them, but it's good to know. Kill switch. Stops the motorcycle dead. That one keeps it on. Ignition switch. In some bikes, my lock is over on the side. The ones in the learner test typically are up here, so you push them in and twist, okay? That's your standard control scheme. So, clutch in, kickstand up, bike starts, and off you go. So basically, that's all you really need to know for your license test. It's not hard, okay? It's more panicky, stressful than anything. I had never touched a motorcycle before I did my learner's test, and I passed it without any issue, okay? Now, I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm just saying that it's easy, okay? Don't panic. Panicking is what gets you cooked every time. So if you can sort of figure this part out of riding around in a circle, okay? Riding your rear brake for those corners, making sure you head check when you're on the road, indicating, cancelling the indicator, remembering they're called indicators, same thing, simple turns. You're not going to be going too fast, and the bike is going to feel a lot faster than your car will, and that's for sure, because when you're in a car, going 40 Ks don't feel so fast, whereas when you're on a motorcycle, guess what feels fast? The first time you go 20, you're going to be like, damn son, that's rather fast. So if you can figure this part out, you're basically getting your motorcycle license, dude. It's not that hard. Now, here's a fun thing. Don't be afraid to drop the motorcycle on the learning tests, because they've been dropped a million times, all right? They know, they've set them up for dropping and everything. It's fine. Dropping a motorcycle does not mean you lose your or fail your test immediately. It just means that you drop the bike. Just get back on it, try not to hurt yourself, and try again. You're learning. Don't be afraid of such things. Dropping bikes is not the end of the world. Look, this dent has been here for so long now, it's a part of the bike. It lives here. So just get you over the fear of dropping, get over the fear of riding, just go on the damn thing, learn the controls, do your best, make sure you low that slow riding, slow stopping, quick stopping, finesse moving, because if you can't do simple sort of controls like that, it's mildly important for the test. So if you need to put your foot down, look, this is considered not good enough yet, but if you need to practice by duck walking it over, and then you can just slowly progress to not having your foot on the ground. Look, even there I still don't feel confident. I've been riding for years. That's just I'm not going fast enough and I'm talking. So look, sometimes you're still never perfect at doing skills. Doesn't matter how much you've been riding. If you're not practicing stuff, you don't get good at it. And because I don't do very, very tight, slow speed U-turns, I'm still not the best at it. And I don't care. I don't have any ego about it. I know I'm not the best at it. I don't have anything to hide, and I don't feel bad about it. So as long as you can do it to an adequate level, like I showed you before, like I said, within like this parking lot, if you do a U-turn within like that distance, you should be fine, okay? With that, and so without that, that's with all of that, not without that, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you can ride in circles, you can indicate, cancel your indicators. Cancel your indicators. If you can do all that, Bob's your uncle, kids, you'll get your license. So I hope this helps you get over some of those nerves. I've been trying to ride in circles, just change the visuals a little bit. Get over those nerves of riding. Don't be scared of the bike. Don't be afraid of the test. Just go there, give it a go. Try not to fail, because it is more expensive that way. But yeah, dude, it's not hard. It's just as simple as, hey man, hop on the motorcycle, try and figure it out. If you can't figure it out, well then you just keep trying until you figure it out. There's only so many controls to get right and wrong. Shifting is up to go up through the gears, not GP shift. GP shifting is reversed. No learner biker should have a GP shift. Learn how to ride the bike the standard way before you start making modifications, all right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Ride in circles, do your emergency stops. Slow riding is important. Being able to indicate, cancel those indications, and head checks important. Know how to controls, walk your bike, that's important. Stuff like that, it's not too much more complicated. And if I have missed anything, it ain't going to be much more than what I've just told you there. So if you can get those basics down, there's no reason you should fail your learner's test, all right? So good luck, get those licenses. If you do get your license, either comment on this video or comment on me at the Discord, at me, and I'll reply, and send me a lovely photo of your big smiles. So without further ado, ladies and gents, thank you all so much for watching. I do hope this video has been informative and helped you to some degree, because I know I watched plenty of these kind of videos when I was getting my learners. It's the only reason I knew all the controls and whatnot. And honestly, knowing the controls and how to operate them is most of the work. If you can't operate the bike, well then how the hell are you going to ride the damn thing? And then as you get more comfortable, you can do stuff like how I'm doing now, just riding comfortably with the one hand, talking, expressing. You can even shift. You don't have to worry about clutching all the time. And those go, it's bad for the bike, it's bad for the bike, mate. There are people who've done hundreds of thousands of kilometers and never used a clutch and never had an issue. So when you're using a quick shift, all you're doing is cutting the fuel, so it's fine. But yeah, that's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys get your learner's tests completed and your licenses achieved. So let me know down below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take it easy, keep it cheesy, get on those bikes, practice as much as you can, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace, bye!